Good evening, everybody. How's it going? Our traditional swig of water. It's me, Comic Crack. Um, we had our chat today on Rasa's channel. It was myself, Rasa, and Damien. Go back and check that out. I didn't read very much this week, so there's really not much to talk about. I did finish Ether, and I read Popeye. Enjoyed that. I'm glad I found the collection of this as opposed to hunting down the issues, because really the draw for me was finding the Tom Neely stuff, and it's entertaining. This is just a fun book. Nothing mind blowing to say about either of these, which is why we won't waste any time on them today. Colin, Mr. Blanchette, how's it going, man? Good to see you. So instead of talking about those that I don't have much to say about, I went to Thirsty's flea market today, and one of the main reasons, excuse me while I pull up a chair here, one of the main reasons was to pick up these two that you see before you. These are the Strange Adventures. This is 211 and 214. Oh, Gore Vidal, how are you, man? Yeah, I'm glad to see Carmen is out as well. Damien and I were talking about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up the hardcover. It's only a little bit oversized. He's saying there's a lot of issues with the binding being pretty tight, so not being able to open it as well. So I think it's going to be a book that I just don't double dip on, to be honest. As much as I wanted to, and I wanted to support it, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem worth it for my money. So I'm going to pass on the hardcover. But it was good to see it. Good to have a flip through it this afternoon. So all the talk, Neil Adams talk all over town, obviously. And I've said it before, and Dead Man is the place for me for Neil Adams. It's really what I kind of associate him with, in my mind anywhere, at least my introduction to him. Kayfabe guys did a couple of things of Neil Adams. One of them was looking at the Ra's al Ghul, or the Ra's al Ghul story that's in a like an oversized, like a treasury type of edition from DC, which is fantastic. I hadn't seen that before. It's one I'm going to hunt for, because I love Ra's al Ghul. I love Talia. I love the stories there, the stuff that I've read. I haven't read all of it, obviously. And they were talking about how you can't think of Batman. When you think of Batman, you think of Neil Adams' Batman. And I would say it's the same for me with Dead Man. When I think of Dead Man, I think of Neil Adams' Dead Man. Kelly Jones' Dead Man being a very close second. But I really feel Neil Adams, this is where I noticed him when I got the reprints of these issues. At the time, not really knowing they were reprints, not really knowing the history of all this stuff, thinking I would never get my hands on these kind of things. And yet here we are. I think I don't know, 4 issues away from having all the Dead Man stuff from Strange Adventures. They're all in about this shape, which is Reader, which is perfectly fine. He was kind of apologetic when I went to pick him up today. Hello, Damien. How you doing? And I said, honestly, you know me by this point. I'm all about the Reader copies. These aren't going in some Mylar sleeve or anything. These are going to get packed away with the rest of my books and enjoyed. I haven't had a chance to sit down and read them yet tonight. I mean, that face is just beautiful. It's beautiful stuff, and it's that kind of thing that I associate with Neil Adams. And we talked about this afternoon, just the figure drawing and things. Everybody seems long and lean. Stuff like this, these kind of unusual angles that you don't normally see. It's been great seeing the Kayfabe guys talk about Neil and just kind of his art in general. And just his approach to art, using a lot of photo reference. Hell, even using that projector or whatever it was called to kind of put some stuff up on the wall and kind of trace it. These are beautiful pages here. Really nice. There was one spread we looked at this afternoon. Maybe it was in the other issue. Yeah, it must have been in this issue here. To Hunt a Killer. Let's see here. Yeah, again, stuff like this. I love these, the way the panels are laid out. But there was one spread here, this one here. There we go. I don't remember this one. We were kind of talking and it just happened to open up at it. I love this kind of bar just going through the center of these two pages. Really ties the pages together nicely. There's some still interesting stuff going on in the peripherals there. Like, again, that close-up. I feel like that's a Neal Adams staple. I feel like this kind of thing is a Neal Adams staple. The body contorting in ways that you haven't seen it before. But this is really stunning. I think the colors work incredibly well on these pages. Yeah, it really is, Damien. The wrench is they're there to keep the peace in the chat there, Colin. So best be on your bestest behavior, otherwise you get the boot. When you do live streams, you can assign people like an admin kind of role, just in case any bots or any bullshit happens in the chat. They are authorized to delete those messages and stuff. Especially in the live streams, sometimes we get some crazy bots coming into the room. There we go. I also know he will now also be known as Crack, Godfather Crack. Anyway, so you all know this stuff. I don't want to say I can't possibly contribute anything more to the conversation of Neal Adams than is well out there, but I just wanted to show these. I'm really glad that he had these. He had a couple of other ones, but they were doubles, unfortunately. So I'm pretty damn close. I'd love to finish this up as well as my Spectre as well. So there you go. So the rest of the stuff I got was from like his cheap bins. He had a Vertigo bin. And he said, depending on how much you take, it'll probably be like 50 cents a book. If you take a lot more, then maybe I can do like $3, 3 for $1. So I got a pretty tidy stack of those. And then I haven't dug through his bins for quite a while. So I was able to find some other indies as well. So we'll go through those and then we'll end on the Vertigo. So it might be a little bit of a slower or shorter video tonight. Who is this? Is this Malibu? Eternity Comics / Malibu, is that right? Dracula, The Lady in the Tomb from 1991. This is, division of Malibu Comics. I don't know. It looked interesting. I thought I'd give it a try. Eternity Comics is something that I'm always kind of interested in. And again, it was cheap. Who do we have? Adapted by Steve Jones, artwork by Robert Schneiders, lettering Brent Carpenter, and then Robert Schneiders did the cover as well too. When I entered it into CLZ, this is the only issue. There wasn't a follow-up. Yes, absolutely. We can post that. Yeah, you'll see those Vertigos for sure there, Colin. We'll end with those because I think there's some incredible stuff in there. So I want to kind of end the stream with those ones. Yeah, it looks kind of what I expected. I'm always kind of hoping for something that's going to blow me away with these black and whites. Like this stuff looks like it's getting a little bit more interesting. We'll see. I'm well aware of the gamble. And then I'm also well aware that if I don't end up liking it, there's no hope in hell I'm ever getting it out of my collection because nobody's going to want to buy it. So, but there you go. It's the chances you take. Don Lomax ad on the back. This one intrigues me, and I'm hoping that Colin or Gore or somebody will know about this one. This, when I put it in my CLZ, there's like 15 or 16 of these things. The cover looks great. One of the things that really caught my attention as well was, actually, maybe we'll end with that. We'll get there. So again, solely based on the cover. When they're that cheap, I don't really spend any time like, hey, can I open this up and just have kind of a flip through? I just grab it, I see it, and I put it on a stack to get the hell out of there. I know that he's going to give me more of a deal too, depending on how much I buy. He's a really great guy. Mad Cat Comics. I think he has a website or at least a Facebook page. So check him out if you're curious. So this is 1995. Mike Friedland, Grant Fust, and Mimi Cruz. So I know absolutely nothing about this, so I'm hopeful that somebody who's going to watch this, looking at you, Russ Works, is going to know something else about this. But it's pretty intriguing. I sat and looked through it. There's a couple of changes in the art style throughout this here. This kind of reminds me of like Strange Embrace. Something about the look in that guy's face and the leanness of his face. Stuff like this starts getting a little more interesting too. Like, look at this. Speaking of Neil Adams' body postures, how's that one for you there? That's pretty stellar work right there. I don't know if this is every single issue has a new creative team or if it's one continuing story. This is definitely near the top of my pile when it comes to books that I want to read. Very, very intrigued by this, especially when you see stuff like this. So that stuff is all pretty cool. And then you flip the page and you get to see what cover number 2 is going to look like for next issue. And that is actually the cover when I saw it on CLZ. And I mean, right away, like, I need this fucking comic. I don't care what else is inside. I need this. And this is by our creator here, Fust, from 90. Oh, that one says 91. This thing was 95, wasn't it? Yeah, so this is from the artist as well. So an older piece by him. But that's just an incredible image for the cover of a comic. I've never seen this before. I've never heard of Angus Comics. Does it say where they're based out of? Salt Lake City, Utah is where it says there. So yeah, Mercedes issue number 1. Good luck on finding any of the other ones, I say to myself. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. So one that I was utterly shocked to find, and loading the cannon, Colin, you'll know. 3 issues of The Mummy from Monster Comics. Again, I just recently found some other Monster Comics stuff. A series I never thought that I would find. Never thought it would cross my path. This is only issue 2, 3, and 4. It was a 4-issue miniseries. Monster Comics was an offshoot of Fantagraphics. There's an ad actually in the back here for what were the Monster publications, Monster Comics stuff. So King Kong, I'm just missing like the number 1, I think, because it's a Dave Stevens cover. Metacops, I've got that one. Oh yeah, that's right. It was issue 2 of Cadavra that we found. The Mummy, Hollow Brothers, Monsterama, Tor Loves Betty, I've got somewhere. Although I thought Tor Loves Betty was a Eros Comics release, but maybe I'm wrong. So it looks pretty great. This stuff is real glossy. It's a little bit bigger than a regular comic. I mean, look at this page here. This is, again, Neil Adams. This is Dead Man. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a rougher version of Dead Man. So this one is going to be fun. This is 1991 is when this came out. And I'll just show you some of the interiors there. Hopefully there's enough light and everything looks good. I think my videos have gotten better looking since I just said fuck it and went to the phone, as much of a pain in the ass as it is. So there you go. Some Monster Comics. The Mummy. There's number 3. And then there's number 4. And just a 4-issue miniseries. SB. Did I do the credits here properly? Written and drawn by Scott Betterstat. Lettering and cover colors by Paul Frick. There you go. Published by Gary Groth and Kim Thompson. So there you go. 3 issues of The Mummy. Who knows if I'm going to find the first one. What's this for? A couple of posters? Or just the issues? Okay, yeah. Send me the Hollow Brothers issues. An older free comic book day of Serenity. I picked it up because of Serenity. I wanted to see what the story was. I thought this might be kind of interesting. There's aliens in here. And then there's Hellboy. So this is from, let's have a look here, 2016. So the Serenity doesn't look too mind-blowing. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a Wash and Zoe story, which obviously they become pretty big characters in the Serenity Firefly universe when it comes to comics, based on the stuff that I've read that's more recent and the child that they have together. So that'll be okay, I hope. But the thing that kind of surprised me was this. So the Hellboy is Richard Corbin. I didn't realize. I'm assuming this has appeared somewhere else. I'm assuming, like with a lot of these free comic book day stuff, it's just a sampling of the stuff that he did in Hellboy. But there's those pages there. Looks pretty great. So that looks nice. Like, look at that stuff. Look at the way the red just jumps off of the page there. Really, really beauty. And then finally in this one is an alien story, which looks pretty good too, actually. The art looks a little gritty. I kind of like the looks of it. So I'll have to have a read of this, and hopefully I don't like it too much. Maybe find it digitally or something instead. There you go. So free comic book day. This one based on the cover. So this Swiftshire Presents was a series. Again, I think there was like 16 or 18 or 20 issues. This is the only one I saw, but I love this cover. The paper quality is it's nice, but I love the way the colors are used on the front here, because it really looks like an old fanzine, like on really faded newsprint. But it's a glossy cover and really good paper stock inside from Harrier Comics. I don't know, again, another one that maybe someone out there knows something more about it than I do. This is from 1987. Well, they're saying Scotland, swift response. Oh, no, sorry, that's a letter that they got. Apologies. Where the heck is this place? Who are these people? Yeah, nothing anywhere. Harrier Comics, Dead Face. Eddie Campbell advertisement on the back, so that's kind of cool. This one I'm not so sure about. It might be good, it might be trash. It feels like the art kind of changes throughout the story. So I feel like there's a couple of different artists in here kind of contributing to this. But it's amazing when you see this kind of stuff that, oh, and then we have another story here, totally. When you see this kind of stuff and see how many issues it ran, it just makes you wonder, like, obviously they were buying enough of them. People were buying enough of them to keep them going that long. So Tales of the Rugged Reptile from Harrier Comics, part of the Swiftshire Presents. Terror Tales from Eternity. Again, it was the only one in the series, and all of this stuff is an easy sell for me, just to kind of see what you're going to find in this. There's a couple of great pages coming up here. Some of this stuff is really nice as well. He's getting like what looks like a butter knife to try to cut himself up. This stuff looks fantastic here. All of this looks really great. I know I don't have another one of these, but I feel like there's another recent anthology that I grabbed too that had the same artist. But I guess kind of at this time there was a bunch of these artists that were doing similar things here. So pretty cool looking pages there. I feel like it was another story, a woman getting hit by a bus or something, and it was a skeleton smoking that would walk by her as kind of our host, you know, as we kind of got into the story itself. Jeremiah ad on the back. The Vincent J. Mel Carrick Jr. Memorial Comic. I guess a creator who did some stuff. This is heavy duty as well. 1993. He was born in 1963, died in 1992. And it's a whole bunch of, there's some stuff. I think it's inked by Ian Aikenby and Garvey. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what all of this is going to be about, whether it's stuff that he worked on, John Romita Sr. giving a little forward there, but then it confuses me with stuff like this is clearly from What If, I guess. So I'm not quite sure what we're looking at here, if it's kind of going and looking at some of the things that he worked on while he was alive, or if there's some sort of reference to him in this. Well, here you go. So he's definitely on art there, but yeah, they really do the copyright stuff here. Yeah, I'm very confused by this one, to be honest. But I haven't sat and given it a good look through. So I'm sure it'll all make sense once I do. And I think there's some pinups at the back and stuff too. Oh, Clive Barker. And the more that I think about it, Damien, if you're still here from this afternoon, you were talking about like variant covers and things being like a coffee table book. It would be great for pinups and stuff too, I think. Just a real nice collection of art from all over the place. William Stout, I think, would be a very cool addition. So there we go. There was a couple of those in the bin. Jared, we were talking about it on Jared's Friday show. I saw it in the bin. I didn't know if I had it, but because we talked about it and it was 50 cents, I grabbed Fish Police. It turns out when I got back, I do actually have this issue already. So, oh well, I'll make sure that I enter all of them into the ZLZ. So the 1 or 2 times in 5 years that I run across some Fish Police, I won't buy a double. I couldn't pass it up. I saw it and I just kind of instinctively put it in the stack and didn't really pay it too much attention to really take a good look. It's been forever since I read this. I remember when I was reading this, I was reading like Captain Jack as well. You know, I know that for a period of time there, I was really into Captain Carrot and stuff, and I was reading Ralph Snart and Reed Fleming and all of those kind of books. Critters, I think, was one. That Geriatric Gangrene, Jiu-Jitsu Gerbils, I loved all of that stuff, right? So Captain Jack and this one, though, Captain Jack was Fantagraphics, and this one, this is from Fish Wrap, I guess, at first, and I can't remember who I'd said that the other one was from eventually. Maybe it was Caliber or something. So yeah, just kind of a throwback to my youth with this stuff. So here's looking at you, Squid, with a Mignola cover there. Well, holy shit, eh? 1986, look at that. These guys appear everywhere. So there you go, some Fish Police. And now the moment that you have been waiting for, Colin. Here we go with the Vertigo stuff. I just put them in alphabetical order because I'm a nerd, and when I was putting them into my CLZ app, it just made it easier. So this was just a preview from 2012, including a Dominique something or other, the Voodoo Child one. I think it was early on. Well, I'd seen Mesmo Delivery first, but that was right early on in discovering who Raphael Grandpa is. Raphael Grandpa is also the guy that did the Daredevil as part of my avatar here on YouTube, and a guy that I'm a super big fan. Oh, there you go. Dominique Laveau, Voodoo Child. So they give you some samples. This one was going on sale in 2012. I was picking this up when it was coming out. From what I remember about the story, it was just okay. Like with a lot of the Vertigo stuff, it's the style, it's the visuals that I was really drawn to. And like I said, the covers made it an even easier sale. Is this the Dead Wardians? Yes. So the Dead Wardians. I'd love to read this, so I'm kind of excited to have this in here and just give it a little bit of a sample just to see what it's like. He had, I don't know, probably about 3/4 of a long box filled with Vertigo stuff, and they were all unbagged and unboarded. And there was a lot of good stuff in there. There was a lot of chunks of longer series. I think he had a bunch of Dead Wardians issues as well. I just grabbed, he unfortunately didn't have, of all the mini series that I grabbed, and he told me up front, he's like, I don't have any completed stuff, but I just have a box of random. So I wasn't able to kind of complete any miniseries digging into this bin, but it was nice to get a chunk of this stuff out of the way. And there's Fairest in the back there. So there we go. Vertigo #1. The next one is, this is from a 4-issue miniseries called Accelerate, with incredible looking covers, but really, really great interiors. This is Richard Kadri and illustrated by the Panda Brothers. This one looks fantastic. What year does it say there? 2000. So, and I think this one, yeah, the paper is kind of yellowed already too. And right away, just looking at that green on the page, that green and the blue. Hey, AFPC, how you doing? Good to see you. We're just looking through Vertigo Comics that I picked up this afternoon at the flea market for peanuts. And honestly, I kind of feel sometimes when I come across these deals that I should just buy everything and just sort it out afterwards. So maybe I make him an offer. We'll see. And maybe he has some more stuff. So I'm looking forward to this. With some of this, obviously, I'm going to try to wait to get the whole thing, because with these miniseries, I feel like it's easy enough to just kind of stand by and get them all, especially on a 4-issue run. So yeah, just missing issue #3 on that. So that's the first one, Accelerate. Really happy to find this. I have 1 issue of this already that I think I found again in like a 50-cent bin. So this is Goddess. I'm very, very curious about this one. So this is an 8-issue miniseries. So I'm still missing 1 here. Yeah, #2, 4, 5, 6, and then I have #7 already. And this is from 1995, coming into January 1996. Garth Ennis and Phil Winslade, or Winslade. This is beautiful stuff. The 1 issue that I have. Oh, fun. Yeah, it's a fun one. That's good to know. I'm looking forward to it. I've looked through the issue that I have many, many times. I'm amazed by the art in this one, and the coloring, I think, just really adds to it. But this looks like this just jumps off of the table at me. Oh, hey, look at that. The Panda Brothers worked on Grendel. Wondered what else they did. Yeah, so he had some Grendel single issues there as well too that I was looking at. But with the Grendel stuff, I feel like I want to get it in a collected edition and read it that way. I'm loving the look of this book so much. I'm really going to make this a priority to try to find this final issue because I really want to read this. Like I said, that issue 7 I've looked through a whole bunch of times just to kind of soak in the art. So very, very curious what this is going to be like. And the covers are just outstanding as well too. Loving that green, how that sits on the page. And the glasses there. I guess there was a 0 issue. There was also a collected edition of this too. So I guess it had enough fans to warrant doing a collection. So that's Goddess. 2 out of the 3 issues of Peter Milligan's Girl. One that I never thought I'd actually find. I love Milligan. He's always worth checking out as far as I'm concerned. Fregrito, I'm not sure the first name. Let's have a look. This is 1996. Duncan Fregrito. Is that what it says? 1996? Yes, it does. Yeah, August 1996. Unseen Hands. Daniel Torres. Huh. Eastern Europe extends open arms to capitalist college students. The Unseen Hands, four issues of super spies, reality wrecking lies, and trickle down economics. Hey, huh? That's interesting. I think I saw an issue of that in that bin. Yeah, anyway, back to this. Some Butthole Surfers advertisements there. Ace Ventura. So, yeah, 2 issues only. Look at that Kingpin. 2 issues only, but I will take them. I will absolutely take them. They feel a little thicker than the other books as well, too. So that's very cool. Another one I'm incredibly excited about. I never thought I would ever stand a chance of finding anything from this run. So this is Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell, The Sandman. This is the Dream Hunters. I think it was a 4-issue, a 4-issue miniseries from 2009. Let's just take a moment. I don't think we need to say much here. Yes, Enigma is fantastic. I've got it. I've got a bunch of the issues. I think I was missing 1 issue, and then I grabbed the. I found a beat up copy of the graphic novel, and I grabbed that. I was also going to grab the reprint that just came out, but I didn't. So I mean, this is stunning. This is fucking gorgeous, man. It's absolutely fucking gorgeous. So I desperately want this in single issues because that's just goddamn beautiful. Yeah, the opera, like everything, it feels like there's nothing of his that I've seen that I'm like, I guess that's okay. I mean, maybe there's one thing, maybe some bullshit that he did for one of the big 2 where it was colored fucking horribly, possibly. But I mean, I really feel like it's hard to go wrong with him. So 5 issues. This is a 6-issue series called Shadows Fall, just missing issue number 1. And this is from 94 and 95. Again, I say it all the time, but as much Vertigo stuff as I have and as much as I've read over the years, I've never heard of this. So John Nay Reber is the writer and John Van Fleet is the illustrator. John Costanza on letterer. He of Jerry Seinfeld fame. So this looks pretty great. It looks like photos that are just kind of touched up and painted, and it has an interesting look, though. It doesn't quite look like Fumetti, where it can kind of look really comical. We'll see. This isn't jumping out as horrible. That's for damn sure. And because these were loose, I did flip through these before I grabbed them. And there was something intriguing about the looks of this and then the mix of stuff here too. So I'm sure it'll get pretty wild. So that'll be fun. Two issues of a 3-issue series called The System. This I have seen before. I've seen an issue here and there, and I've never jumped on it because I've always thought, I'll wait until I can find all 3 issues, but that just never has happened. So this is from 1996. Vertigo Verite. Peter Cooper doing everything in here, and this is pretty great stuff. I've seen his stuff before. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head where, but it just, everything looks like the paper is textured. Everything just looks like, you know, even seeing that overspray that's going into the panels is great. Seeing stuff fly off the edge of the page. I'm really looking forward to this one too. This has a really great aesthetic, like stenciled aesthetic to it, which very possibly it is for all I know. Creating stencils for an entire book. That's kind of that's a pretty great idea if that is the case. Let's see what I'm missing here. Costanza was a great Harvey artist too, before he ended up lettering books near the end of his career. Well, there you go. Yes, you love the system. Awesome. That's great, Colin. I'm really looking forward to it. It's unfortunate that he didn't have everything. Great Cooper book. Lots of his work in World War III too. Oh, and WW3. Yeah. Or We 3, isn't it? Is that what you're talking about? I thought I understood, and now maybe I don't. Anyway, so there we go. 2 issues of the system there. 1 and 2. 2 out of the 3. Second to last. Nothing super exciting here. I have the second miniseries of this Vamps. I wasn't super crazy about it. I do like Elaine Lee. I think she's pretty great. This is a 6-issue one from 1995. I saw it. He had the 4. I decided to grab them. Again, I'm not super thrilled. Check out that ad. That's a fantastic ad for Shade right there. But yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot. I didn't like, what was it, Hollywood and Vine or something like that was the second series. Didn't really dig it that much, but who knows, maybe this one will be better. And last and certainly not least, yeah, I remember you saying, Gore, last time when I was looking, World War III, it's a comic anthology. Oh, okay, thank you very much. I got to come up with a better system. It's so difficult reading the comments, having you pointed down like this. This one looks beautiful. It's called Witchcraft. It was 3 issues, but I only found the 2 of them. This is from 1994, and I don't know, man. This is the stuff for me. I think this is going to be really great. I'm hopeful anyway. But look at this style. Like, this is beautiful. See if we can find actual credits of some kind here. So James Robinson, writer. Teddy Christensen, artist on page 1 to 7. Peter Snyberg, artist on pages 8 to 42. Michael Kaluta, cover artist. Daniel Vazzo, colors. Yeah, I love this. I really like this a lot. So this will be fun. Yeah, Starstruck is a lot of fun. I enjoy that quite a bit. I haven't read it in a long time, and I never caught up with the newer stuff. I was buying some of the issues, but I don't think I finished it, and I don't think I read a single one. But those early ones, when I discovered those, they're such a lot of fun. Really great books. And she seems very nice. She made a comment on my videos a lifetime ago, and sent me some digital stuff of samples of the new Starstruck, which was incredibly kind of her as well. So yeah, this looks fun. And the 3rd issue, look at that. That's great. That's so great. Wowzers, dude. The covers, the 3rd cover just continues on with this, and I wish it would come together this way instead, but I guess they couldn't stretch it out that much without it looking too funky and getting the whole art in there. So Witchcraft. So there you go. That is it for the Vertigo stuff. Thanks very much for hanging out there, fellas. It was nice to see you. Hopefully I get some more reading done before next weekend. But in the meantime, have a good week, and we'll talk to you soon. Later.